all the labor that I really hard, except for custom cutters, was when we had irrigation and we planted soybeans. And there was always a crew, or two or three of them. It seemed like there for years it was kind of running over each other. But anyway, I had a guy stop in one day and wanted to know if they could rogue my soybeans. And I never even thought about it, but he said, could I go out and drive around your soybeans and take a look? And I said, I really don't care if you want to. So he drove around and he was come back and he said, I'd like to have a job sowing, roguing your soybean. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, I have a crew of workers that come in and rogue your soybeans for so much an acre. And I said, well, what do you think? And he said, well, they're not very weedy, but he said, I need to keep these guys working. And I said, well, what do you think it would be worth? And he said, well, I'll start in at $10 an acre. Said, we'll do it for 10. And I said, well, go ahead. And I didn't realize it, but they showed up the next morning about 6 o'clock or 5:30. Heard all this commotion. Looked outside and there looked like Marcel said, ants going down through the field. And there were about, I think that first crew I had, there was about 40 of them. And had their little hose, and boy, went down through the field, hoeing them weeds out of the beans. And it was kind of fascinating just to sit there and watch them. And they had plenty of water and stuff, and each end of the field, and they'd take a break once in a while. But they done one whole circle in one day, and I didn't think I could get half of it done when they started. And so he was wanting to know if there was a place around where he could keep his crew. There's a house that's vacant about 3 miles south of here. You might check and see, if you could rent that. And I told him, I think Lester Durley was looking after it. So anyway, they wound up staying there. And they worked out of this house for, I suppose a good week or so, because he had went around and contacted jobs. And he told me then he was from Ulysses, Kansas, and he had been getting these crews in every year, because out there in western Kansas, he did a lot of logging back there then. And he kind of migrated out here in Edwards County. And over by St. John, there was another coup over there. But anyway, he had a brother that was his manager, I guess. All that's one guy did was ride him around and get jobs lined up. But anyway, this manager was a professor of agriculture, or had something to do with the agriculture department in San Bernardino College. And so when he come out with the field, well, I got to talking to him, and I said, I finally just asked him, well, what are you come out here for? He said, well, that Ben's he's my brother, and I am the manager. He said, I just love to come out to this part of the country, and he said, I like to work with a crew like this, and just see how change it makes in the crop when you get through rugging all the weeds and anything else that's in there. And he said, I just enjoy doing it. And I thought, well, boy, I'm glad it's you instead of me. But anyway, they wound up renting that house down there, and they stayed there for about, I don't know, 2-3 years. He was back, he rode my cups then, I think, for probably 4 to 5 years.